Live on the feed. And we'll be ready to go here in just a second. Now that everybody at home can see what the hell's really going on. Ten seconds.
And here we are, another Monday evening, back with you. Glad to see all of you, hear all of you, whatever. Anyhow, Lone Star, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
You're still kicking, huh?
I'm still kicking.
All right.
Still kicking. Still here.
You might not be after tonight's show.
I'll probably be
Uh-oh.
kicking something.
What exactly? We're not sure yet, but
I'll find something.
Well,
Something will probably get kicked.
yeah.
allegedly.
Well,
No, it's probably a fact.
I got a question. I'm going to get you going right off the bat here. I want to know your opinion
Fuck, here we
or
go.
what you think.
Why
about this-
does this
about
happen
this-
every show?
Yeah. Both of you. I want to know what your opinions are about this deal that they talking about arresting Trump for President Trump for I guess he paid off some porno star or something like that.
Oh, the Stormy Daniels thing?
Yes.
Oh, my
And,
God.
you know,
There's a throwback in there.
Well, they try to use that or something like that or whatever it is about something she did or he did with her. or
Something
whatever.
they did, you know.
But it,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
yeah, allegedly. But every time they do bring up one of these things, and they tried to impeach him twice. Both those times, he was let go, said there was no case or anything,
Right.
and it just keeps on going and going and going.
Oh, they are desperate. They are
Well,
trying to find something,
actually,
anything.
It's
Someone's
got-
trying to find something. That's for
Uh,
damn
It's
sure.
got so bad that New York DA, the Democrats even are really up in arms. They figure that they'll, if he does this and keeps on going, it'll cost any Democrat probably 10 to 20% of the
Well,
vote next time around.
They're still focused on get Orange Man. Like
Well,
there's
right.
still focus. Like
Well,
like the more and more
well,
you've done
isn't-
this for
yeah.
what now since 2015 you've done this for
2016.
well since he was even running.
Yeah.
I mean the whole grab her by the pussy thing like that.
Well, yeah, but look,
Like that was when he was running. That wasn't even
Right.
when he was in.
Right.
it even came out in some court cases or something like that where Stormy Daniels was not even she got in trouble for lying, perjuring herself, and everything else, and none of these things happened. And her attorney, that was supposedly her spokesperson and all that.
Oh yeah, the porn lawyer. I
he's-
forgot
yeah.
about that fucker.
He's last I understood, he's in prison.
Isn't
right
he
now
in prison right
for,
now?
for fraud. For trying to defraud
Yes.
everybody.
For fraud. Go
Yeah.
figure,
Didn't
right?
they
And-
try to get
and
him to
if-
run for president?
Hey, and here's the thing: if Stormy Daniels took a payoff from him to keep her mouth shut,
Wasn't even that much money either.
guess
No, it wasn't.
$130,000 or something like that.
For a porn star and for Donald Trump, that's
yeah.
pocket change.
To
But
stay the
anyhow-
night. Yeah.
But here's the whole thing. In most, as far as I know, in the state of here in Oregon or any state in the union, isn't it? If you try and extort money from somebody like that,
It's a
isn't that
crime.
called blackmail and a crime?
Yeah.
Yes. That's
So-
exactly what it is.
So at the worst they could do is say if he did, he
Yeah.
was blackmailing him and he had
Well,
he paid off
if
blackmail.
if he paid off her saying take my money, that's
Well, the
Well,
biggest
she
thing
took
about it is
the
they're
money.
the biggest thing about it is they're claiming it as hush money.
No, well,
Even,
But-
even if it
and
was
the-
hush money.
Well,
It's
they're
like-
calling
it's-
it hush money,
that makes it
but,
blackmail money.
no, that would make it
but
extortion.
they also are trying to say it's not so much as the fact that everything took place. Which, by the way, Miss Sexy Girlfriend says, "Good evening, pops." That'd be Miss Mariah.
Yeah, even to you.
But it's also with the way that they categorized it when they tagged those funds. They tagged them as what
like
was it?
business funds or something.
Yeah, it was
that.
like it was basically a business expense.
Yeah.
Is what
Well,
they tried to tag it as.
It was his
Does
money
that
though.
does
It
that
was-
make Stormy Daniels a hooker?
I mean,
That's an expensive hooker.
you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Yeah, no.
yeah, it's just a farce and everything like this, and they just keep going and keep going. And-
It's to the point where like the only people you're. It is honestly like the only people you're convincing that Donald Trump did something bad is the people that already hate Donald Trump. Everyone else is going,
Well-
I don't fucking care.
Right.
It's
You're
like-
not wrong.
Like
Hey, a lot of them.
yeah, like he gave a porn star 130 grand. Ooh. Like, like, are
I
you
heard
kidding
something.
me?
On the,
I
one
know a
of
guy that has a lap dance from Stormy Daniels. Are you fucking kidding me?
the- I heard today one of the news medias or whatever. I guess you call them news medias. I don't know what they are.
Jackasses.
Yeah, something like that.
Propaganda
Liars.
machine. What?
Yeah, something. Anyhow, they were saying that this is the stupidest thing that they could possibly do.
Oh, it is. This is the
And-
dumbest thing ever. They're still throwing Trump. They're still trying to throw Trump bad down people's
Well-
fucking throats.
I just find it
And it's
hilarious that here we are.
Well,
The election took place. The last presidential election took place 2020, almost 3 years ago now.
right.
Yeah,
He's been out of office
like
for the
like,
last.
he's
2
gonna
years.
run again.
He's
That's
been
just
out
what
of
hap-
office for a little over 2 years now.
Yeah.
He's still to this day
He's
has
still center of the
he's
news
still
media.
has so much room in everybody's heads.
He is
in the
living
media.
rent free in the
Oh.
media's heads until he dies.
Be on, and it's just like, wow, really, guy?
Well, they
Really?
really went wild. And soon the last, I think it was this last time that they came out with the stats on everything that he had gained on DeSantis.
Yeah.
And he gained some points there.
Like,
Then they saw that and they just literally, they got wild.
well, what's
Anything they could think of that, and that group on MSNBC,
MSNBC.
that one and CNN, those
MS-13
oh,
BC?
that,
Yeah.
that group on the View,
Oh
that is the dumbest, stupidest bitches in the world.
my god! Wow. I mean, I wasn't
They
gonna.
aren't even like they're not
Well,
even
you
good
heard-
actresses anymore.
Well, you heard that. What Speaking of which, you heard that Whoopi Goldberg, her contract with ABC on the View is not. ABC came out today and announced that they are not going to
Well,
renew her
the
contract.
past like 4 months, the things that woman has said,
Oh, I know, it's hilarious, really.
Well, then she comes
like-
back on the next day and has to apologize
like
for it because
some
it was
something
wrong,
is
it was a lie.
misfire. Something is misfiring in Whoopi's head. I
Yeah.
mean, she went from being a great act like the 1990s, 80s,
yeah.
and 90s was just solid Whoopi Goldberg movies.
They
And
were good.
that woman starred
Right.
in just about everything from the 1980s and 90s.
Yeah.
And after that,
Yeah.
just shit. Like nobody gives a fuck about you anymore, Whoopi. Just go away.
I mean, nobody's really
Like,
really
One of her
listening or
biggest
caring
roles
anymore.
was a imitation Catholic sister.
yeah, freaking Sister Act,
Yeah.
Star Wars, or
Sister
Star
Act
Trek.
too.
Star Trek,
Yeah,
yeah.
Star Trek. She played in Star Trek for years. What like
Well, she played in the majority of the Next Generation
Next
series.
Generation series,
And she even-
movies.
yeah,
she made
she-
movie roles in there.
She made an appearance
And-
in season 2 of Picard.
Yep,
So because of her role as Guinan, reprising her role as Guinan.
yep.
So
But like, fuck, Whoopi. Just
Yeah.
the things that woman has
Ghost.
fucking said.
Ghost was another one with
Ghost
Patrick
was a good
Swayze,
one.
Demi Moore.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a good one.
there was a couple of comedies with her. I mean,
And she used to be really funny.
And
She used to be really good.
like I said, something is broken. Like that woman is misfiring somewhere. I mean, she's just saying shit now. It's bad.
It's what happens when you become part of the Hollywood elitist friggin' talking machine.
It's
like, really, guys? Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I still remember World War II wasn't about race comment.
Okay.
Like when you got the entire panel of stupid bitches going, whoa, you fucked up. Like,
whoa.
Remember that imaginary line we don't cross? Yeah, you just.
Well, who was it? That one of the. She was a journalist. God, I feel bad for drawing a blank on this one. Not Barbara Walters. Who was older? She just recently passed away too. She actually was one of the
Stanwyck?
No, she actually was one of the first ladies to start up that show. Damn it! Now I gotta look it up here.
I'm not sure.
I know Barbara Walters was on that show for a long time. She was one of the original startup ladies.
It might have been Barbara Walters.
I mean, she was on that show.
Yeah, I guess it was Barbara Walters. Yeah.
Like she was on that show 2020 there in the early 90s for a long time.
That woman I know is rolling over in her grave. I mean,
oh yeah,
she went way off left field for quite a bit too. But still, even to the point to where she was just like, yeah, no, I'm done with this. Y'all are too crazy for me, man.
It's trying to deal with trying to keep up with the modern. Okay, they're saying this now and they're doing this now. People are still like half the population of the United States is still stuck 15 years ago thinking that all this bullshit hasn't happened yet because they haven't had enough time to Google everything that's happening yet.
Right.
And so like people are going, oh, they're not selling or they're not having those weird sex books in elementary schools. That's not a thing. Yet they go to an elementary school and go, holy fuck. Still.
Right. It's like, okay.
Like, people are still surprised by this. It's been going on for a couple of years now.
Right.
I'll tell you, there's so much of this. But I guess they're not the only stupid ones in there. I was thinking about our press secretary we have now for the president.
What press secretary? We've got a lady that says stuff in front of a microphone.
Hey, you missed it today. You really missed it today.
Oh, is that when that reporter can let her have it?
No, keep in mind, she's always hollering about race.
Yeah,
race.
this was a black reporter yelling at her.
Not only black, he is a journalist from Africa.
Yeah, he's an actual African.
Actually, an African journalist.
Yeah, they're like, this is not China. This is not Russia. You can't do this. This is America.
And she has refused to answer any of his questions for over 6 months.
Yeah.
She will not answer one of his questions.
Well, when you have a racist president, you can't have someone from Africa telling you off. That's just not a thing.
Well, he was telling the whole United States off from what he said.
Yeah, that's what.
And that's
I can't fault him for that.
They're supposed to represent the United States, right? And when they do things like that,
50 years ago, maybe.
When they do things like that, they actually destroy all of our respect in the world.
Oh, our respect went the way of the dodo a couple of years ago there, Don.
Even more,
there's nothing left.
Every time they do something like that, it makes the rest other countries and everything else respect us less, and it makes our enemies or our adversaries, shall I say, happier.
Yeah.
They're smiling all the way.
They want to watch us crumble. That's what they want to do. And everyone that is sitting there going like, this is what all it takes is for a stupid person to be elected and America falls apart. We've been a fragile system for over 200 years. It literally didn't take much.
The thing that happened, when Trump, when he was in office and he went and chose his different cabinet members and all these different secretaries of this and that. He got people that were experienced and knew what
the
hell
Reagan
they were
approach.
Yes. And he got people that knew what they were doing.
Yep.
And that's how he got things done right. Now, you got some people in there haven't got a clue.
No,
They have not got a clue about. Never worked at anything like that.
because they're in
Half
there
of
for
them never had a business alone, anything else,
Right.
and they just don't know what they're doing, and they're destroying the country.
because they're in there for diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's what they're in there for. None of them are in there because they did the job and they can do it well. They did it because, hey, we want our first gay guy to be in the transportation field. Hey, we want our first female or black female vice president. Therefore, Kamala Harris gets elected. Like,
it's just
like that's why they're there, not because they're useful or not because of anything.
It has completely destroyed everything.
I mean, that one freaking trans guy got in trouble because he kept stealing women's luggage at the fucking airport or wherever.
I don't know how bad you guys feel about and the recent guys that were killed or hurt, women and all that in the military fighting for what our Constitution is supposed to believe or say, or what it does say, and stand for that. But I know that my generation, which is way back then, they are turned over in their graves, and they're ones I've talked to. I've talked to a couple of them I know, and they're just ready to give it up and die. They just can't believe that everything they did and their friends did, their brothers and sisters in arms, everything they've done. These people here in the administration today are trying to destroy everything the Constitution says.
They're just trying to destroy it. Trying to take the Constitution, rip it up, and use it as toilet paper.
Well,
and they're doing it.
We had a president when he was running for office that said that the Constitution was outdated. We shouldn't even have it. We had to start over again.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was our president.
Yeah. Sad thing is, a lot of people, they may not realize it, but they talk about the 82 million people that voted for this guy. Well, there's also the other half of the country that didn't. I guarantee you would be like,
of the 82 million.
You want to try?
Yeah.
I wish you would.
Of the 82 million that voted for fucking Biden, of those 82, I would guarantee you half of them did not vote for Biden. They voted against Trump. They didn't vote for Biden.
In the same token,
and
yes, you say they voted against Trump, and that's what they did. But they didn't vote against Trump. They voted against our country and what it stands for.
Yeah.
And what it is.
Yeah. That's what they did.
And then they stand out there and say, well, our country's bad and all this.
Yeah.
It's
because they genuinely believe it. And
send them somewhere to one of these countries where they got this type of government that they want. And let them spend 6 months there.
There is no place. There is no place here that has a government that they want. There is no place on this planet that has the socialist communist government that
they think that communism and all this other stuff and socialism is so great, and it's never worked anywhere they've done it.
Is that they've never actually seen it up close in person.
Yeah, well, like
it's never had a true.
Like, take Bernie Sanders for instance. Like he was alive when Soviet Russia was a thing. However, he
spent God knows how much time in Cuba when he first became a senator.
He still calls Norway, Sweden, and Denmark socialist countries. They're constitutional monarchies. They're not freaking socialist countries. But they think if you have a social program, like if the government says we'll give you money if you do this, therefore the government is socialist. It's like no, it's not. It's fucking not.
No, they think that Russia's so great, and then you stop and think about it.
Well, I don't think Russia's great anymore.
Do you want to be in a country where they come in and they just kill the civilians, men, women, children, seniors, little children?
Like it's where we got mass graves. It's where mass graves are, people.
That's what they're doing now.
Let's think about this for a moment, folks.
Like
that's what's going on right now over there in
Ukraine. That's where like and Eastern Europe has been a mass grave site for the past 120 something years now. Like it's not a
right. Sorry. Anyhow, go on, gentlemen.
But no, like
I just can't believe that people stand out there. I mean, and I'm talking about college kids and stuff like that in their late ones that are been in college for 2 or 3 years. Juniors and seniors in college.
That's where I think we have an issue, though. Right when I don't even think you realized what you said. You might have, like, your old, all of us are kids. Like you're an old person. All of us are technically kids
Yeah.
and our age difference. But when you said college kids,
Well,
they're in their early, mid, sometimes late 20s.
well,
They are not children.
No,
but
they're not
people
children.
have been treating them like they are children
hey,
for decades. And it's like, knock it the fuck off.
well,
Those are
Right.
adults. Those are
th-
adults. They can
Then-
drive, they can
but-
drink, they can smoke, they
but
can vote,
guess
they can
what?
die for their country.
they can't make a adult decision if worth a shit.
That's because this generation that is now in their 20s and all that other stuff is gone. They have been coddled their entire lives.
Not coddled. They just been,
they've
they've
been
been taught
coddled.
everything wrong.
They've been coddled their entire lives. They've been, oh, it's okay, you get a trophy, you're special, you're loved, and that guy's bad. And then they get
Well-
corralled and taught things wrong because that's what they were taught, and that's what they were taught.
What's going to happen when they get to the point here where, okay, we're going to do away with fossil fuel and all this other stuff, and they're not going to have any power.
Millions of people are going to die.
They're not going to have any power. How are they going to use their electronics and stuff that there's light without one?
Like I said, everyone's going to die.
And they won't be able to. They won't be able to do anything.
No, it's like unless you know how to go out to the woods and hunt for your food, unless you have chickens so you can go get eggs, and unless you
Well-
have anything, if you have a goat, you can make cheese. You know, like if you don't have access to this stuff or know
Yeah.
how to do this stuff,
Well, yeah,
you're
you're talking.
screwed.
Yeah, I've been talking about food and all that stuff, and going out and feeding yourself and everything. Now, just to show you, what was that one 3214 or something like that? That measure that they're trying to put through in the state of Oregon.
yeah, the sneaky HB 3214.
Oh yes, that
Yeah.
one.
This is how stupid they are. They want to do away with all these things for animals. Okay.
Yes.
Which means you're not going to be able to haul them to the slaughterhouse you won't be able to have beef and take them to the slaughterhouse so you can go get that
So
steak out
anyhow,
of
a
the
quick
store.
summary is the following summary is no, it's not prepared. It prohibits a person from using specified types of animals in a traveling animal act, provides certain exemptions from prohibition, punishes by maximum of 6 months imprisonment, $2,500 fine, or both, authorizes court to require a person convicted of violation to forfeit animal used in violation. So to give it the quick down and dirty is that unless you are either you work with or are involved with the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums or Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, or if you're a falconer.
Some reason that's thrown in there. Like if you handle
Yeah,
a
I know, right?
falcon,
But it basically prohibits people from being able to take animals to
you can't go to a rodeo.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
it-
rodeo.
it
frickin',
essentially
FFA.
I mean
Well,
it essentially bans people in the state of Oregon from being able to, for your kids to be able to take their animals to the fair in order to have a horse race or go on a trail ride,
yeah,
or
like
if you want to go, with your horses, or if you want to do, or if you're a part of a rodeo or any of those types of events.
all right, everyone
it-
listening, look up Greater Idaho, please.
Yeah.
and annoy the fuck out of your local congressman.
Yeah. I mean, basically, and part of the text it says a person may not use an animal described in subsection 3 of this section in a traveling animal act. Subsection 1 of this section does not apply to a facility that is accredited, certified, or verified by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums, or the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, or a person that uses an animal described in subsection 3 of this section as part of an education program if the animal is not kept away from the animal's permanent facility for more than 12 hours in a 24-hour period, and that person is an agent of the Wildlife
You
Rehab
just
Center.
confused everyone.
The only thing that it says that it gives a long list in subsection 3 as far as a list of animals, but unless you are either an agent for one of those rehab centers that's an agent of a wildlife rehab center, operated under a valid permit issued by the State Fish and Wildlife Commission, or a falconer operating under a license issued by the State Fish and Game. Yeah, it goes on. It gives you, a licensed veterinary hospital or clinic, or a licensed accredited academic, medical, or research institution. And it gives a long list. He goes domestic dogs, cows, llamas, alpacas, sheep, reindeer, domestic hogs, domestic goats. Then it goes down a nice long list of other
crocodiles,
domestic cats,
elephants.
Yeah,
elephants. If you have a domesticated elephant,
a domestic ferret. A non-human primate.
Hey, now
is a domestic horse.
You said dog, right?
Yes, a domestic dog.
A domestic dog. Now that means that you folks out there that have got these little tiny dogs that your what do they call those health animals that are supposed to be companions and all that.
Right.
You won't be able to haul them around either.
Service animals?
Service animal. You will not be able to use a service animal.
And it even describes, it gives you a couple definitions here too. So education program means an animal exhibition designed to impart information about an animal's natural behavior, habitat, or life cycle for educational or conservation purposes. Next section, performance, means a carnival, circus, display, exhibition, exposition, fair, parade, petting zoo, photographic opportunity, race, ride, trade show, or similar undertaking during which an animal performs tricks, gives rides, or otherwise entertains or amuses an audience, whether or not a fee is charged.
Traveling Animal Act means a performance of an animal to which the animal is transported to perform.
Correct.
So all of this, so even with the performance is part of the Animal Act.
What is the natural
you can still take your
habitat,
dog places.
What's the natural habitat and behavior of a dog?
Are
they all the same?
Yes.
Well, what is it?
Anywhere there's a human.
Do they know?
Right.
Do they know? Nobody knows.
The natural habitat of a dog
in the woods.
From one family is one thing, from another family is something else.
But
this
is
has got a service dog that he foreseen, so he can see.
This is talking about like your circuses, like your rodeos, like with the what's the one where the kids take the animals?
Like I said, your local county fair,
like your local county fairs. This is dealing with that.
It wipes out auctions.
You can take your service dog places there.
Yeah, but you can't.
You can take your service dog places.
It doesn't address it.
Your service dog isn't performing.
If you can't exhibit the animals, then the kids can't learn from it.
Well, if you can't, so that's just for like your rodeos, your farm animals, everything like that. Like there are even dogs that you can go and see at the rodeos or the fairs. You can go see dogs there.
Well, but they have a national dog show.
Yeah, but with like your service dog or your family pet,
that's gone.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that would be held in this state would be done.
Yeah, but like with your service dogs, with your household dog, you can take your dog camping with you. You can take your service dog to the store with you.
This doesn't more than 12 hours.
No, this is only dealing with animals that deal with a performance act, with a performance. That is what this is dealing with. It's not dealing with your service dog. Your service dog it's actually said, don't touch or look at my service dog. You're not allowed.
Mariah, yes, to answer your question, yes, it would apply to dogs as well.
Yeah.
Because it's a competition. It applies to them as well.
If it's a competition, it's that would apply to them.
Yep.
But since it's a family dog or a service dog, you can take your dog camping with you to the woods. You can take your service dog with you when you go out. What about my hunting dog? You can take your hunting dog with you.
Can't hunt though.
Nope.
Well, your dog can't hunt. No, that's in state of Oregon. That's stupid.
Well, no, even if he's out hunting bird or whatever, he can't.
You can't have Nika in the truck.
Nope.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. We can't say yes or no because this doesn't address that.
I'm fairly certain you could bring your dog with you. You just can't have your dog.
You probably have to leave her in the truck.
You have to leave her in the truck
because the dog would then be giving a performance.
No.
It'd be committed to that.
Yes.
The dog would be working.
Or
But-
excuse me, it would be committing an act as well, because it even talks about like with the horses as an example, take them out on rides, can't do trail rides.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's talking about like being at an amusement park and having the horse ride. I'm pretty sure that's what that's talking about, is having a little corral where little kids get on the horse.
The
and they put on
problem,
helmet
the
and they go
problem with
around.
this is that it leaves it so wide open to interpretation.
I don't think it does.
It does.
Oh,
The language of this bill completely
I
does.
think it does.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the same
I don't
problem
think
that
it
we ran
does.
in. That's the problem. If you stop and listen to what you're saying, though, because think about it,
Yep.
they did the same thing. They do it. They do this all the
Well-
time with the ballot measures
Well,
that they
those,
put on.
those three.
Take a look
things
at
right there.
114.
With
Well,
the with
114 is a prime example.
110.
110.
Yeah.
that we're going to be talking about
even
here
when
in a
even when it says right here, traveling animal act, it means a performance. We know what a performance means, but we know what a
we know what a
well, no,
performance
I'm talking about the
means.
definitions in the bill. So you have to look at all of them in accordance with each other and what they mean in this bill.
I get that, but okay, I'm talking to somebody that understands a little bit of legalese here. When they and I'm being serious with you on this one. When it talks about travel animal act, means a performance of an animal to which the animal is transported to perform.
Yes.
When it talks about that, that totally leaves that open to interpretation, because this doesn't. When it goes back and it talks about performance, yes, it gives a brief definition of the word performance. Means a carnival, circus, display, blah, 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 blah. I know we don't say blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Which an animal performs tricks, gives rides, or otherwise entertains or amuses an audience, whether or not
Yep.
a fee is charged.
Entertains
Well-
or amuses an audience. Is Nika entertaining? you?
How big is that audience? Is it one person? Is it 5 people? Is it 10 people? Is it 100 people?
When you're out in the woods hunting, that's not
That's
that-
one
that's
person.
not an entertainment or
necessarily.
amusing or an
You-
audience.
I've had 3 guys hunting over a dog. 1 dog with 3 guys.
Yeah.
Always 2, because I take people out with me and take my dog out, and the dog works
Yeah.
for him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because but that can also fall under an act,
It's
a
yeah,
quote
it's a
unquote act.
performance.
Per legal definition, it could qualify as an act.
I honestly think someone's stretching with that one.
Oh, with Justice
that-
Bill,
that-
absolutely.
Like, could they
Oh, sorry.
argue it in court? You could
Yes.
argue just about anything in court,
Yeah,
but I don't
but
think that's what the
The
bill
shit
actually
thing
says.
is that here on the left coast, and yes, I said the left coast,
Well,
Yes.
that's what it is.
it is not out of the realm of possibilities, and it is very highly
Well,
likely
Okay.
they would use that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they could
All right.
use
Well,
it.
sir,
I don't think they're gonna,
all
but
right.
they could. I don't think they're.
Hey,
I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, you didn't think that before either. 110
Or
Did you?
114.
or what? No,
No one,
110.
no one
110.
thought that.
No one
Yeah.
thought that in 110. They had it so confused and everything.
Yes,
The way the
Mariah,
bill
you
was
are
written,
correct.
that they passed got 1 till run through, and what's that? That means that they got all the free narcotics and drugs.
Well, I
and-
didn't vote for
needles and-
110. I voted against
Right.
110.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people did. Enough people did.
Well, then why'd you say that I didn't understand it?
Well,
I think you're
didn't-
going in
you
circles,
didn't, you
Don.
didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was.
I don't think anybody did.
Well, no, I don't either. But
I
that's
lived
the
in
way,
Washington when they did
that-
this.
but
I know
that's-
exactly how bad this is.
That's why-
Yeah.
That is why they write these things the way they do, to make them confusing, so that people don't really understand them, and they go ahead and do all this, basically back it all up with lies and
And
everything when
that's
they're
why you-
campaigning.
Well,
And-
they're
and-
not backing it up with lies. They're creating completely different, totally like with the
Right.
"Don't Say Gay" bill in Florida.
Oh my God.
Nowhere in that bill does it say "Don't say gay." Nowhere in that bill. It's literally no. You were not going to talk about sex in grades K through fucking 3. That's it. You're done. You're not going to talk about it from there.
Yeah.
Nowhere in that bill did it say "Don't say gay." Yet people, you still talk to a leftist around here.
Then they still
you-
say gay.
They're still going to say, "Oh, the don't say gay bill." They're still going to say it. No one reads those things.
They,
That's why they do it. They don't. They can say
But-
whatever they want. They can write whatever they want.
that's
because
just
the
how
majority of people
confusing-
ain't gonna read it.
that's like we see that bill
Yeah.
one way, and you see it another way, and you see things we don't see or whatever. I don't know. Anyhow, they make them so confusing, these bills. They did it with 114. They did it.
Oh,
with
and by the way,
110.
in case you want to know who it was that put that bill together, and is actually trying to
Yeah,
get it through this
what was that
legislature.
fucker's name?
So Representative Zach Hudson out of District 49, that's Troutdale, Fairview, Wood Village, Gresham, and Portland. So yes,
That figures.
Yep, Portland Democrat.
Like you can't like drive horses around to go to like rodeos and stuff because
Hey.
that's like totally animal
I
cruelty.
got news for you. Pretty soon, you know,
like, are you
The sad thing is
fucking
that's
high?
the mentality that these
Yeah,
people
like,
think with.
the rate they're going with the way people are thinking, that's all you're going to have to get around on anywhere. You won't have
No, because that'll be animal cruelty. You can't ride
Right.
horses. We're
But
just gonna have to walk and do what the Native Americans did when all the horses died. Frickin' pull all of our shit behind us when we
I
walk
guess.
places.
because they won't have fuel to have any vehicles to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You won't have any money left to go get because you won't have a job, so you won't have any money to go get food at the store. You can't grow food because they don't have any carbon dioxide in the air to make the plants grow. Now, how stupid is that?
I'm just buying black powder guns and moving to the fucking woods. You guys have fun.
There won't
But
be
I
no
will
woods.
say this though. Holy crap. I just went ahead and opened up looking at the file for this 3214, looking on Oregon State Legislature's website, and the amount of testimony that has been given. I see one,
How many pages are
two,
there?
3, 4, 5. Well, there's, oh my God.
A lot.
I'm guessing there's a lot because he's finding
There's
himself
actually-
speechless.
Wow.
A bunch for or yes?
A bunch for.
A bunch for the bill?
Yes.
Go figure.
But the Vegans United, and there's a lot of anonymous for the voiceless. Yep. DCVFA fund or educational fund, of course.
Basically, everyone that wants you to eat the bugs and eat the
And
plants and
Reverend Kathleen Hall support out of
and
Madison,
eat your
Wisconsin,
mushrooms.
Seattle, Silver Springs, PETA, Glendale, Rent. Why are there all these folks way out of state?
You don't know the answer to this yet?
They're planning on eventually working it nationwide. That's
Yelm,
why.
Portland vegans, Tacoma,
I-
Olympia.
I-
Really?
I have heard the argument that there are indeed
Tell them
two.
to get the hell out
There
of our
are
government.
indeed two versions of the United States that exist right now. There are two United States that exist. There's not one. There's two. Like every single Democrat you talk to will talk about they are endangering our democracy.
Oh,
We're not a democracy. We have never been a democracy.
Nope.
And everyone on the right of the leftist is going, we actually live in a constitutional republic and we have rules and laws that
Right.
make a popular vote.
Little thing called checks and balances.
Yeah, we have all this other stuff. So there are two cultural United States right now in this country. And so all of your Democratic legislators that are being controlled right now pull in all the support they can from all over every other state and get all that money to frickin' jack up and all the donations to rise and all that because they believe in our democracy. They don't know that I live in Oregon and I don't give a fuck what New York City does. I live here, but they want to go, hey, New York says this, so therefore we have to do that. I don't fucking care what New York says. I don't care
Well,
what
look what-
California says.
even worse is what California says.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what California. California could burn. The entire state could fall off the continent right now, and I wouldn't care.
Why do you think there's everybody moving out of there?
It's like it's not like it's going to affect the wine business here in Oregon.
Right.
Like Napa Valley could go away. Silicon Valley would go away, and that would suck for everybody. But
right.
they're building smaller ones all over the country right now. And so
Well, they're going broke in Silicon Valley anyhow. so-
everybody's going broke right now. Yay, bank failures.
Yeah. Oh my God. Going back to all those freaking crashing.
2008. Yay.
Yeah, here
Oh,
we go again.
It's different. It's worse.
Oh, it's definitely worse.
It's something.
I wish. I fucking wish. I remember it was like 1998, and this new thing came out. Like it had been out for like a year, but it was called Bitcoin. And everybody told me what a scam this was. It was a horrible thing. It was a pyramid scheme. Yeah, it's stupid. That thing was worth, like, you could have put $100 in there right now and you'd be a billionaire today.
Right?
Like, all because you invested in a fucking imaginary coin. And they'll give you real imaginary dollars.
Well, apparently it's still a thing because there's still a lot of people
It
that
is
are
still a
doing it.
thing. You have to pay taxes on your Bitcoin. If you sell or trade or do anything with Bitcoin,
Well,
you have
yeah.
to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's an imaginary stock number. It's not even a real, like, I can't hold a Bitcoin.
But it translates over to
it translates over to
tangible.
real tangible credit, like real tangible exchange rates.
Mhm.
It's an international exchange currency.
Well,
one Bitcoin is worth one Bitcoin here. It's worth one Bitcoin in El Salvador. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
well, Biden and Kamala want to do away with all money.
Oh yeah, with them trying to make everything over digital now.
Yeah.
Trying to switch everything
But
over to a
there's
digital
another case.
currency.
Going to that
They won't
Fed
be able to
coin.
have any digital if they don't have any power.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What do you think's going to
Well-
happen if they go ahead and do that? Now, not only do you basically control everything at that point in time. If you put
they control
if you
everything,
do away with cash,
If you do away with all
a federal
cash,
note
you do away
and
with
make
federal note,
everything digital, guess what?
you're screwed.
Yeah.
They can shut it off at
Yeah.
any time.
The government can tell you what you're allowed to buy. They can tell you where you're allowed to spend it. They can tell you
Bingo.
what to do. That, and it's
Well,
just like with
They
the
will
electric cars.
control the flow.
Yeah, it's just like with the electric cars. California said, buy the electric car. And now like, oh, you can't charge your electric car on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then it's
Yep.
like, what if I have to go to work? Well, you should plan ahead.
how do you plan ahead? I had to work Wednesday, so I had to have it.
You
charged up
don't.
Wednesday.
You
And
don't. And then,
They're just
like like battery power, I see is
Well,
it
yeah,
is
wait a
it
minute.
is a
where
good
do you get the
thing.
money? I mean, where do you get the
Like-
materials to make these expensive batteries?
Oh, you get it from third world countries that are using slave labor right now. That's
Yeah.
where you get it from.
These lithium batteries and everything. Where do you think that stuff that they make it from?
The lithium mines come from Africa right now. There's not a lithium mine here in the United
In
States.
China.
No, they're in Africa too.
Yeah.
China.
It's like
I miss the way he says China.
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 Well, that's just exactly.
China and Africa, they're using fucking slave labor. Like they're using
Right.
kids. They're paying $4 a fucking month to go mine your fucking lithium, so you could have a new battery in your fucking brand new electric car.
That
Right.
costs
for you.
$20,000.
Yeah, just the battery, not the car. The battery.
Yep.
The car costs somewhere between
And-
80
and
or
guess
90.
what? You have
Yeah.
to replace that battery every so many
And,
years. Too,
like,
It's like 10 years
Like-
is the lifespan on them, and that's it.
if
yeah.
that.
No, like that's actually about it. Then if you don't let it drop, if you keep it right, if you don't let it drop below 20% and you don't let it go above like 80%, if you keep it in that happy place, that's like where you're supposed to
Yeah.
keep it, you're fine. It'll last you a decade. But as soon as it goes bad, you have to replace it. But yeah, do I think that having a new technology that gets us off fucking oil is a good thing? Yeah. Do I think batteries are the way to go? Fuck no. Batteries are a use. That is a horrible means of controlling any kind of
Yeah.
energy production.
Well, they
Horrible.
so they put up down in California. They put up all those windmills and stuff like that off the offshore.
Wind power.
But they create such an ultrasonic sound
Yeah.
that it destroys the fish. It's killing the whales. It's killing, and they're doing away with all that fish and people, fishermen and all that to go fishing for a living and all that.
Yep.
You won't be able to buy fish in a store or in a restaurant or anywhere else because there won't be any.
Well,
Yes.
they talk about speaking of California, they talk about how that California doesn't take all their fresh water from the ocean. Why don't they just use desalinators?
Oh my God.
You know, when you do that, you create a byproduct that literally destroys everything it touches.
Right.
And
Like I said here a little bit ago, I know that. You know that. He knows that.
It is like,
But do they?
like,
Yeah,
you
probably
can't
not.
you
They
can't just
probably
do
know it.
that.
They know it. They just don't give a damn.
No, they know it, and they care about them being elected and them showing that they are attempting to quote unquote do something about the problem.
No, the only thing they want,
and they want
money
power,
and power,
authority. They want, but dealing with this whole,
they want power over everybody. They want to control everybody that's not them.
Yeah, like we yeah, no, but we want everyone to have battery power and electric vehicles, but we're not going to build the infrastructure for it. Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. It literally makes 0 sense. I don't. Yeah, it's not how this works. If you don't have the power and you don't have the ability to get the power to you, the battery system doesn't work. I'm sorry, it can't. It can't be sustainable.
Well, Justin, JW, you drive over towards Eastern Oregon and stuff, up 84 and all that, don't you? Every once in a while.
Oh my God! You know how long it's been since I've driven up 84.
All right, but when you did,
it's been a while.
Yeah, but when you were driving a truck and all, you know where all those windmills and stuff up are on the hills.
Yeah, up there just out of Boardman.
How much wildlife did you see around there? How much cattle did you see underneath those windmills and stuff? How many animals at all underneath them? They were bare.
I didn't see any under there.
That's what I'm saying.
I did beforehand.
Yeah, they were there all the time until they put those windmills in. And those things, they don't do any harm. The hell they don't, because it's driving all the animals away. And they don't have any place to go.
Oh, my God.
They're going to die.
Yeah, Oregon's wind industry. Onshore wind is the second largest zero carbon emitting electricity resource in Oregon next to hydropower. Wind power makes up 11.6% of Oregon's electricity generation and 4.69% of Oregon's energy consumption. That is actually a very low fucking number.
But
that's like not even a thing.
Right.
That is not even producing the same amount of energy that it took to make the fucker.
But their byproducts, their byproducts are dangerous byproducts.
Their byproducts are dangerous.
They say, okay, it doesn't make carbon, right?
Well, it doesn't make carbon, but it doesn't make power either, apparently.
It makes
11.6%. That's bullshit.
Those things, the towers and stuff that they're on and all that.
That's like
constant vibration into the ground.
Yeah, it destroys everything around it.
And of course, nothing's gonna be there. Nothing will live there. I mean, they've had it. And it's just getting to the point where it's hard to. People do not think things out. They don't look at all of it. They look at one thing and it's going to get rid of this, but it's going to give you this.
Yeah, no, but like they don't think about it. And that's the problem, is that
that's what
like in the early 2000s, I remember seeing concept cars for hydrogen fuel cell technology. Hydrogen fuel cells, literally the most abundant element on the fucking planet is hydrogen. And it has a tremendous amount of power. Basically, it's an electric car that runs twice as long as a diesel vehicle. And then it can have the same or more power than a diesel truck. And that went away. Like slowly but surely, they just stopped talking about it. Why? Because it's not going to make anybody money. It caused you could make them cheaply for people, so everyone could afford it. It couldn't cost you an arm and a leg to buy it. It went the fuck away. Like that dude in the 70s that made that engine that didn't run on oil or gasoline.
Yeah,
just made a running engine that worked. Where the fuck did he go? He's fucking gone. I don't think anyone's heard from that man in 50 years.
No, they kind of. Well, he got bought out by the fuel companies.
No, he went to jail. I think they threw him in prison back then. They freaking got rid of his ass.
So, by the way, Pop, I got a little sound clip for you, and I want you to remember. So, as we were talking about with the whole, with the windmills and everything else. So, this is actually a scene from, matter of fact, from early on in season 5 of Yellowstone, and it's a scene where John Dutton is actually he just got sworn in the governorship, and he's actually talking with his cabinet. And one of the gentlemen that he was talking with was one of his environmental advisors.
Yeah. I gotta remove sagebrush. Yeah, I think really.
Best news yet.
So
It's like the sagebrush grouse live in the sagebrush.
yeah, exactly. It's just like, so you don't think removing the sagebrush?
It's not gonna have an impact on them at
You
all.
think it's really? Well, there's no evidence. Really?
There's no evidence to think that the sagebrush grouse, if you remove the sagebrush, is gonna impact the sagebrush grouse.
Yeah. Anyhow, oh my
But
goodness.
people just they do these things, and they go off on a tangent, and they have no clue as to what they're actually going to do to the environment or to the people or to
Well,
the
they're
livelihood or whatever.
they're a part of the I need to be satisfied now people. They're done.
Well,
That's what they're a part of. They're like that's what this new generation and
well, they're not going to be
is
satisfied.
part of that. I know they're not. You and I know that.
If they get what they want,
that,
if
but
they get what they want, they're destroying what they want.
but as long as the government gives them something and they keep twisting it so that they keep having something to bitch about, they're going to keep electing the stupid, arrogant people
Yep.
in office.
Yep.
That's the vicious cycle. But
It's a never-ending thing.
I think we have a sponsor though that we need to talk about.
We
before
do
we
have
get
one
outta
that we
here.
need to talk about. So actually, it's not so much as a
Yeah.
sponsor, but it's an affiliate.
It's an affiliate, and we have
All right.
friends, so I'm just gonna say it.
By God. So, and speaking of which, that's our friends over at American Sway Company. If you
We've
want
got
to check
nice
those
friends.
guys, we do have nice friends. So, which, by the way, head over to our website, backwoodsvets.com. Scroll down a little bit. You'll find a link to their page over there at American Sway Company. Click on the link. And if you like to show off your two-way pride, whether it's with a cool t-shirt, hoodie, ball cap, beanie, if you want a cool, hell, those of you guys that are watching on our feed, you got the cool little stickers there. You can put I got one on my phone case here.
I actually need a new sticker.
Right. Window sticker, stickers and decals, they're the guys that do Oregonian, Washington gun, AR-15 ONA, Lone Star, Alaska and Kentucky is another one and they're coming up with all sorts of new ones. Every time we turn around. For you ladies out there, they got actually bullet jewelry that they make as well. Miss Mariah, aka Sexy Girlfriend, she's got a nice set. A nice necklace and earring set that came from those guys. I see where some of your brains went to on that one, and cut you off at the pass. But anyhow, again, that's over there at the American Sway Company. Head over, hit the link on our page at backwoodsvets.com. And cool thing about it is that when you guys purchase stuff over there through those guys, a little bit of that comes back to help. No extra cost to you, but a little bit of that comes back here to the station to help us out. Help keep the lights on, help keep the subscriptions and everything else going, help us keep the entertainment going to you guys. So, again, that's going to our website, backwoodsvets.com, and click on the link to American Sway Company. It is 7:57. So, guys,
help keep us here on the show. And so, like tonight, we're trying to spend a little bit of time waking people up so they look at these measures a little bit. See what they really are and what can really happen with them. And hopefully they'll take action. Anyhow, it's good to have you guys with us, all you fellow patriots and everything out there. So you have a good week, and we'll be looking to see you next week.
Absolutely, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for listening to us bitch about things. And we both know Marines just love to bitch about stuff. But thanks a lot for hanging out with us. And please do come back again.
Yeah. See what you youngins are doing now.
What?
I said, just see what you're doing. Look at what.
Don't fucking blame me for all this shit.
Why?
I didn't cause this shit. I didn't teach them communism was a good thing. That's coming from their professors who are older.
They don't look that old. Most of the professors look like they're young kids.
Oh yeah, the 20-year-old professor.
Right.
The tenured professor at the university is 21 years old because he did service in Da Nang. Right. Okay.
All right. All right, guys. That does it for us. Have a good night. I'll talk to you on Wednesday night, right back here for another episode of the Hump Day Hangover with myself and Mr. Yo Complaint, right here on Spreaker.com, here on Backwoods Veterans Media. Have a good one, guys. Take care.